Hello and welcome to Beyond World is One. It's 9 a.m. India time or 3:30 GMT. We're tracking two big stories this morning. One has to do with the temple town of Kartarpur in Pakistan and the other relates to the temple town of Ayodhya in India. Let's get started. Now, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the Kartarpur Corridor between India and Pakistan in a few hours from now. The 4.5-kilometer-long corridor is being opened on the 550th birth anniversary of Sikhism's founder, Guru Nanak Dev. Modi will inaugurate passenger terminal building where pilgrims will get clearance to travel through the corridor. Thousands of pilgrims will undertake the journey from Dera Baba Nanak in the Indian state of Punjab to Kartarpur Sahib in Pakistan's Narowal district. Ahead of the inauguration ceremony, Modi will have lunch with the pilgrims, following which he will address a public rally. The first batch comprising 500 pilgrims will include several dignitaries such as former Indian Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, Punjab Chief Minister Captain Amrinder Singh and former Punjab Chief Minister Prakash Singh Badal. The Congress leader Navjot Singh Sidhu, who has been invited by Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan, will also attend the inauguration ceremony. Imran Khan will be holding a separate ceremony today in Kartarpur. Meanwhile, security has been tightened across Punjab. Right, we are a few hours away from the grand opening of the Kartarpur Corridor, but the flip-flops from Pakistan continue. Pakistan told India yesterday that it will charge $20 as service fee from the pilgrims. This reverses yet another concession that Imran Khan had proudly declared on Twitter. Now, this is the second U-turn by Pakistan in 3 days. Earlier this week too, the Pakistani army had overruled Imran Khan. Passports were once again made mandatory for the pilgrims. The Pakistani Prime Minister had waived this too, and now we have the reversal on the service fee. On Thursday, the Indian government slammed the repeated flip-flops by Pakistan. There are two things that are increasingly becoming clear now. First, Imran Khan has no control over the plans for the Kartarpur Corridor. And second, the deep state of Pakistan wants to use Kartarpur for its nefarious activities. Earlier this week, the Pakistani government released a video. This was meant to promote the Kartarpur Corridor. It featured 3 Sikh terrorists. The video showed a poster by a banned pro-Khalistani group. It promoted the call for a Sikh referendum in 2020. The Indian Foreign Ministry had even criticized Pakistan for this.
पाकिस्तान की तरफ से जो रिपोर्ट्स आ रहे हैं काफ़ी कन्फ्लिक्टिंग हैं. कभी वो बता रहे हैं कि चाहिए, कभी बता रहे हैं नहीं चाहिए. फॉरेन ऑफिस और दूसरे एजेंसीज के बीच में भी हमें लग रहा है कि काफ़ी डिफरेंस है.
And joining us for more of this discussion is Ambassador G. Parthasarathy from New Delhi. Ambassador Parthasarathy, thank you so much for joining us on Beyond World is One. My question first up to you is this. At a time when India-Pakistan ties are not doing exceptionally well, how do you explain the fact that both leaders, Prime Ministers Modi and Khan, will inaugurate this Kartarpur Corridor, which will come as a huge relief and welcome relief at that for the Sikhs in India and abroad?
Well, let me explain the reasoning. The reasoning is that during partition, millions of Sikhs who lived in what is now Pakistan fled to India. But 3 of the holiest Sikh shrines for prayer are located in Pakistan. It is the Nankana Sahib Gurdwara near Rawalpindi. Then you have the Dera Sahib Gurdwara in Lahore and the Kartarpur Sahib Gurdwara just across the border of a road connecting Indian Punjab with Jammu and Kashmir. The important point is that the Nankana Sahib and the Dera Sahib Gurdwara were earlier opened for Indian pilgrims to go. But it became a practice, and I have seen this personally with my own eye as our ambassador in Pakistan, that wherever the pilgrims went, there were provocative Khalistani flags. There were flags showing the territories of a so-called Khalistan between India and Pakistan. And the Sikh pilgrims were constantly propagandized with vicious propaganda they didn't like against India. So let's be very, very clear that certainly we go for it because of the religious sentiments of our Sikh brethren. There are hardly any left in Pakistan, and therefore that's a duty to our own people. But for Pakistan, this is an instrument to provoke Sikhs, to tell them that they require an independent state, and most importantly, to use Sikhs located overseas who are out of touch with what is happening in India to get provoked and provoke pilgrims. So the reasoning is totally different on both sides.
Right. Ambassador Parthasarathy, I'll just take a moment or two to inform our viewers that Prime Minister Modi has indeed landed in Punjab as we speak. We just saw some visuals on your screens. There we go. These are the latest visuals of Prime Minister Modi landing in Punjab ahead of the inauguration of the much-anticipated Kartarpur Sahib Corridor and the flagging off of the first batch of 500 pilgrims to Kartarpur. Right, as we watch these visuals, Ambassador Parthasarathy, if I can come to you and ask you the next question that's been agitating many a mind in New Delhi this morning. The flip-flops by Pakistan on the need for passports as documents, on the $20 fee. What do you make of the flip-flops and the contradictions between the civil administration and the Pakistani military on the other hand?
In any civilized democracy, the final authority rests with the elected leaders of the government.
Right.
In Pakistan, the final authority rests with its army, backed by the army's own intelligence wing, the ISI. So Imran Khan may say anything, but you should not forget that the first attempt was the feeling in the Pakistan establishment that they could subvert one of our famous cricketers. And the first information that this was about to happen was given not by the Prime Minister, but by the army chief, whispered into the ears of a very, very eminent Sikh cricketer who's played very well for India.
Right.
Just to create this divide, saying that we have this particular love for Sikhs, so I'm telling you before the rest of the world, and I, the army chief, General Bajwa, really have the authority to tell you this even before the Prime Minister reveals this. So it's very, very clear. In a normal democracy, the country has an army. In Pakistan, the army has a country. Absolutely.
Ambassador Parthasarathy, that brings me to my next question. As you mentioned in your intervention there, you see this as an instrument to sort of provoke the Sikh community in India and around the world. Let's talk a bit about the so-called Sikh referendum 2020. Whose idea is it, and what does Pakistan hope to achieve going forward?
You see, the Pakistan intelligence has been working very closely with Sikh communities, as I said, out of touch with India, who still look at Punjab as to what it was 30 years ago, to start a movement in which they could get back to a separate homeland. And that would be a Sikh homeland. So this idea originated at the instigation of Pakistanis from Sikh communities in the United Kingdom, in Canada and Australia, all three Commonwealth countries where a large number of Sikhs live. I mean, so, but really completely in another world.
All right, fair point. Ambassador Parthasarathy, thank you so much for joining us on Wion Lisbon this morning. Appreciate it. Right, moving on, the much-awaited verdict in the Ayodhya title suit dispute will be pronounced by the top court of India at 10:30 a.m. today. Sitting on a non-working day, a 5-judge bench will pronounce whether the disputed land of 2.77 acres, where a 16th century mosque once stood, belongs to Muslims or to Hindus who claim it to be the place where Lord Ram was born. The big day has arrived, ending days of speculation over the date and time when the top court will pronounce the landmark verdict on the Ayodhya title suit case. The Chief Justice of India, Ranjan Gogoi, chose a weekend for pronouncing its decision. It will be a special sitting that 5 judges of the top court will make at 10:30 a.m. India time to pronounce the decision that has serious political and religious ramifications. Justice Gogoi, who retires on 17th of this month, had this in mind when he met the Chief Secretary and Police Chief of Uttar Pradesh, the state where Ayodhya is located. The two officers, accompanied by their subordinates, had briefed the Chief Justice about the preparations that are underway to ensure no untoward incident occurs in and around Ayodhya. Now, even in the country's capital, New Delhi, all security arrangements are in place, with the police even monitoring social media platforms to avoid sharing of messages that can impact law and order. The case has a long history and dates back to the time when Mughal Emperor Babur is believed to have constructed a mosque in the year 1528 at the disputed site in Ayodhya. This mosque was named Babri Masjid. Incidentally, this piece of land is sacred to Hindus, as they claim that this was the birthplace of Lord Ram. They further claim that a pre-existing temple stood where Babur built the mosque. This mosque was demolished in 1992, following which tensions between the two religious communities have remained high. For years now, the matter lingered around for a judicial determination. It finally arrived on 30th September 2010 when the Allahabad High Court directed a three-way partition of the land for Hindus, Muslims and a Hindu sect called Nirmohi Akhada, which claims to manage the worship of the deity. Not happy with the decision, the three sides file appeals in the top court, on which a decision will now come. Besides the Chief Justice, the other judges who form part of this epic decision are Justices S.A. Bobre, D.Y. Chandrachud, Ashok Bhushan and S. Abdul Nazir. And we just asked to go for the most important verdict of the century. Elaborate security arrangements have now been put in place in parts of India. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in a series of tweets, has called for peace and harmony as the Supreme Court is all set to deliver the judgment on the historical Ayodhya land dispute. Modi said that whatever the Supreme Court decides will not be loss or victory for any party, and harmony must be maintained at all costs. Meanwhile, heavy security arrangements have been made in Uttar Pradesh and especially Ayodhya. All schools, colleges and educational institutions in Uttar Pradesh will be closed till Monday. Earlier, Chief Justice of India Ranjan Gogoi chaired a high-profile meeting with the top officials of the Uttar Pradesh state government. Educational institutions will remain also closed in Delhi, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka and Jammu and Kashmir's Kathua. Section 144 has been imposed across Uttar Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir and parts of Karnataka.
वहाँ पे हमने पैरामिलिट्री फोर्सेस को लगाया है, एरियल सर्विलांस हम कर रहे हैं, हमने एक हेलीकॉप्टर लखनऊ में और एक हेलीकॉप्टर अयोध्या में स्टैंड बाई रखा है ताकि अगर कोई भी स्थिति का सामना हमें करना पड़े तो हम उसको तुरंत लगाएं। और साथ ही साथ हमने जितने भी इंटेलिजेंस हमारे मशीनरी है उनको गेयरअप किया है, हमने जितने भी फुट पेट्रोल्स हैं उनको एक्टिवेट किया है, रैंडम चेकिंग्स हम कर रहे हैं, ट्रैफिक की व्यवस्था हम कर रहे हैं, ट्रैफिक में हमने रेगुलेशंस करने की कोशिश की है, क्राउड कंट्रोल कैसे होगा, क्राउड मैनेज कैसे होगा, इस पर भी हमारी नजर है। और एक एडीजी रैंक के ऑफिसर को हमने अयोध्या में स्पेशली डिप्लॉय किया है ताकि वो सब पर नजर रख सकें।
A special effort is also being made that fake news does not circulate on social media on this issue.